Hello and welcome to Gettin Reel here on Fullerton College Television. My name is William Dodson, and today we will be having a fellow Hornet share with us on what it's like to work at Disneyland. Today, our guest will be talking about his experiences, benefits, and give some advice for other fellow Hornets who are interested in working at Disneyland. Here with us today is Eddie Wehan. Welcome, Eddie.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me.
So, Eddie, how long have you been working at Disneyland?
I've been working at the resort for about 8 months now.
And what is your current position there?
I'm currently a busser at Jolly Holiday out on Main Street. I also bus on Gibson Grill and Coke Corner.
And were you working any other jobs at Disneyland before this one currently?
No.
Okay. So, are there any specific parts of the park, since you're someone who works there, you see it a lot, any specific parts that you would say are your favorites?
I would have to say my favorite part of the park is working on Main Street. It just has a sense of home, so you just feel like you're right in place when you just kind of wander.
Right. So at Disney, you're someone who's been working there for a little while. Have you noticed are they any more strict than a regular employer? Or could you maybe give us a couple of examples of like specific rules that people might not realize?
I wouldn't say Disney is strict. I would just say we have Disney show, so if you're showing any visible tattoos, it wouldn't be Disney appropriate versus if you worked at Starbucks or Chipotle, they obviously let their uh, cast members
Right.
show their tattoos.
Right. So there's sort of a Disney look that they preserve
Just
with the
definitely,
employees.
yeah.
I see. And is that sort of across the board, or are there only certain jobs that that applies to?
It applies to everyone, so
Wow.
your hair has to be symmetrically uh, formed. Your hair color needs to be a natural color,
Right.
and just kind of look awesome, I'd say.
That's good to hear. So then, as someone who's pretty familiar with Disney, it would seem, is there a character or a movie that you would say is your favorite?
I would have to say my favorite movie is Dumbo, but my
Really?
favorite character at the park would probably have to be Moana.
Oh, really? Did you like
Yeah,
the new movie?
yeah, definitely. It was the moral of the story was just very inspiring.
So, tell me, how can you, since you seem to like it, how would you say you relate to this character in a certain way,
Um,
or in what way does she inspire you?
that's a pretty good question. I would have to say she inspires me with her determination to deliver a character to this certain place, just to kind of set peace with the land that's getting destroyed, or the islands, I'd say.
Right.
And her independence and uh, herself being headstrong was just very inspiring.
hmm So, is there a particular scene you would say from the movie that was one of your favorites?
I would have to say the beginning of the film when she's collecting seashells
hmm
and the ocean is kind of interacting with her.
Right. So it's interesting that you mentioned both Dumbo and Moana, a very old one and a very new one. How would you say, are there any differences that you notice between the classic Disney we know and modern Disney as people see today?
I would have to say back then our films were mostly they were not animated as they are today,
hmm
like the live action films, but they were more entertaining. But the live action films today, you actually can get a sense or a grasp of what it's like to be on the scene
Right.
during the while it's playing, I'd say. But yeah.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. Listen, we're going to go to commercial break real quick here. You watching Gettin' Reel here on Fullerton College Television. I'm your host, William Dodson. Thank you. And welcome back to Gettin Reel here on Fullerton College Television. I'm your host, William Dodson. With us today is our guest, Eddie. So tell me, Eddie, as a resident of Orange County, you almost certainly heard about the Disneyland evacuation because of the fire. Were you involved with this, or were you there at the time?
I wasn't at the resort at the time. I was actually in a class for anthropology, and then I kind of noticed that everyone was just kind of evacuating for their safety.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was definitely a big deal. With regard to college, coming back to that, is there anyone you know here at college who also works at Disneyland?
Oh, most definitely. It's pretty cool just getting to see those cast members in an academic role and then seeing them in their Disney role and just enjoying it and making the best of it.
Right. Would you say that this job at Disneyland, that it benefits you as a student here at Fullerton College?
Of course, I would have to say applying my academic roles towards my Disney role is definitely probably one of the best things.
And what are you studying here at Fullerton, if I could ask?
I'm studying media studies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So would you say your job is tied into that field of study then? Is that sort of why you came into this?
Totally. I want to grow within the company since it is an entertainment type of business. I just hope to be a news anchor for ABC someday.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. So Disneyland is often a place where celebrities come with their family friends because they're just people like us and they like Disneyland as much as everyone else. Have you just ever had any encounters or just noticed that happening?
Definitely. I can't name who as a cast member,
That's
but as
all
a
right.
guest, I have seen a couple of Disney Channel stars, I'd say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I haven't watched Disney Channel in so long, I'd probably just walk right by them without knowing. So what would you say is the hardest part about your job as a cast member at Disneyland? Because I know it can be demanding.
Oh, okay. My best part, right? I would have
Well, the
to
best part first and then the hardest
Oh,
part.
okay. So my best part as a cast member would have to be guest interaction. I love getting to meet so many people from all over the world that come to experience the magic.
Right.
And I wouldn't say there's a worst part.
Just maybe the most challenging for you.
Most challenging, I would have to say, is to keep a persistent of, I'd say, just confidence. I'd say, like, I always forget to just like be. It's gonna be okay kind of thing.
Right.
And
You have to sort of believe in the Disney magic
yeah,
almost.
so the magic kind of just helps me get through the day.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. Any advice that you would give some fellow Hornets if they were interested in working at Disneyland?
I would have to say to keep applying. Don't stop. Once you come and work for Disney, honestly, it's a life-changing experience. Like you would definitely love it.
Do you feel like Disney has worked with your school schedule since they know you are a student?
Yeah, most definitely. They work with everyone's schedule, and they know that we're going to school, so it kind of balances out our schedule as well.
Right. Do you think Disney values education with their employees?
Definitely, yes.
And with their employees, because you said you wanted to move up a little bit, do you see room for advancement where you are?
I would have to say yes. I was offered a training position in my busing department.
Really?
Yes.
And you've been there 8 months. Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty great. All right, so just wanted to say thank you so much again for coming on the show and telling us a little more about working at Disneyland, what it's like being a Hornet and working there. So thank you so much for
Of
coming
course.
on board here. And thank you for watching today on this show. This has been another fun episode of Gettin Reel. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Fullerton College TV. Take care.